that the Falcons have a shot. A monster of a man is available. Myles Garrett shocks the NFL world yesterday, taking to social media, and he thanked the fans and the organization of the Cleveland Browns. 8 years this man has played in a Browns uniform. In 8 years, he has amassed 102.5 sacks. A monster of a man. The reigning defensive player of the year wants out. And now he says he has asked for a trade, which means everybody, 31 teams are available for his services to be traded to. Now, you are going to have to pony up and figure out how much to pay him down the road. Figure that out later. But do the Falcons have enough capital cachet? Do we want them to give up future picks to get a guy like this?
Yes. Do they want Kyle Pitts as part of this as one? That's right. But yes, I'm willing to give up picks. Okay. We have cried, not cried. Okay. We have whined, bitch, moaned everything for years to go get a stud pass rusher. If I can go get a stud pass rusher, I'm not worried about picks.
Here's
I'll
a
figure
letter
that out.
From Myles Garrett to his people in Cleveland. And this is the last paragraph. While I've loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It has always been to compete and to win a Super Bowl. At what point does that compute to the Atlanta Falcons?
We were 8-9. We have a young quarterback. We're up and coming. Maybe he's a piece that puts us over. We're in a very winnable division.
The defensive end puts us over the edge.
Well, wait a minute now,
it gets its hell of a lot closer.
We're not even anywhere close to a Super Bowl type of a team. We're nowhere near it, dude.
We have screamed about not having pass rush.
But I'm not giving up what you have to give up to get this guy.
But when you say give up,
first-round pick this year.
Yeah.
First-round pick next year.
Okay.
You pick at 15 to get a guy, which could have been, let's just, you and I were on the same page last year. We wanted Dallas Turner. Did we not?
Yep.
We wanted him.
Who had 3 sacks.
Okay.
That's fine.
So that's the gamble. You gamble when you go into the draft, no matter where you go, because Dallas Turner looked like a monster of a man in college. That being said, he had 3 sacks. What is the difference between giving up a pick for 15 this year, and obviously would have to be more, and getting not a gamble, a guy who every year outside of his rookie year who has had double-digit sacks? You are getting a known as opposed to drafting an unknown.
So he didn't have as good a years as rookie year?
Well, his rookie year, he had 7 sacks, which would be fantastic for a rookie. Every single year after that, double-digit
and 14 sacks this year.
Yeah, I know what he did. He's had 14 or more in the last 4 years, I think it is.
Yes.
So I get it. But he's getting long in the tooth. Is he the same guy? And what makes him want to perform? He's in Cleveland. Not that far off. There's a handful of teams. Actually, Cleveland was in the playoffs last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. It's been how long for us?
7 years.
He said he wants to compete for and to win a Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's not what we're doing here. It feels like we're far off. Am I...
Well, why are we far off? Because we don't have a defense.
We are far off because we have no defense. But I think offensively, we're pretty damn close.
We've had Myles Garrett in this division.
We have a quarterback coming into play and has played 3 games.
Okay, and I like him.
Oh, my God.
We had a damn near 1,300-yard receiver. You had the 4th leading rusher in the NFL, a good backup receiver, and Darnell Mooney,
Pro
who
Bowl
would have had
offensive
1,000
lineman.
yards. Yeah.
One guy, we got no center.
We got a Pro Bowl
we got a right tackle that's going to be our blind side tackle.
I mean, you sound like
a young rookie quarterback.
So just don't go after anybody because we're not there.
Not after this guy, not giving up that type of draft capital, no.
But you use your draft capital to get players. If you draft guys, you want them to be players. What is the likelihood you're going to draft a Myles Garrett at 15?
0.
Right. He's a top pick in the NFL. If you could get him, and look, Calais Campbell, who's long in the tooth, he was effective as an Atlanta Falcon. We had Bud Dupree, who was long in the tooth. He was effective as an Atlanta Falcon. This guy is 8 years in. It's not like he's 33 years old.
It's like a pipe dream here, dude.
He's missed 1 game over the last 5 seasons.
Can we dare to dream?
Sure. Yeah, dream about it. It ain't happening. We're not getting that guy.
You want an offensive lineman.
Look, my thing is
center.
We can re-sign our center. That's all you got to do is re-sign the guy that's out there as a free agent. My problem is this. If we're not going to dare to dream, we crap on Terry Fontenot because his drafts stink, yet we want to hold on to draft picks. Our draft last year outside of Michael Penix did 0, nothing. The 3 of us had the stats that half of those guys had.
A draft pick.
Man, I give a damn about a draft pick. Don't get me this dude.
Is hope. You hope at first, and then you have to wait. So a draft pick is hoping and waiting. You don't have to hope or wait on anything with Myles Garrett if you can get your hands on it. 404-231-1680. We have very few draft picks. We have no defense. Would you still be willing as a Falcon fan to say, you know what, we'll go all in on Myles Garrett, even if it costs us something in the future? Yeah. 404-231-1680. The other caveat in this is Terry Fontenot might not be here in the future. So he's got to do what needs to be done to keep his lights on in his house here in Atlanta and not make a mistake where he's trading back and looking for some defensive players that might not pan out or might just be okay if you can get this guy. Now, the other issue is, what are you going to have to pay him once you get him into a Falcon uniform, hypothetically?
Now you're paying a guy who's had the most snaps, third most snaps as a defensive end in the last 5 years.
Okay.
So, which is great. I love guys that stay on the football field and want to kill the quarterback, which is what he's done. But now you're talking about a guy going to the 9th and 10th season, about to hit 30, and now you got to pay him $30 million a year or $35 million a year. What do you pay a guy like Myles Garrett, the highest paid defensive player?
About that.
Yeah. I'll go a different route, and I'll take my picks and hope to God that we figure out how to scout somebody that looks like a defensive end. So here is Adam Schefter real quick, and Schefter's talking about the Browns and Myles Garrett, and who's to say they're going to let him go?
When you issue a trade request in the NFL, it's not final that you're being traded.
Right.
There are still many steps to go through. And again, the Browns have been very public in the idea that they're not moving on from Myles Garrett. They're not trading him, which is why I come back to the point is how difficult is Myles Garrett willing to make life for them?
Yeah.
Is he going to make it such that they have to trade him?
Let me tell you something. Player says I want out, player's out.
Right.
That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes.
Where does he want to go? Why is he so angry? Why is he so disgruntled? Why? Why?
Maybe Deshaun Watson being your quarterback or Jameis
part
Winston.
of it.
Have no chance to win with
Nick
your quarterback.
Chubb's hurt.
Yeah.
You know, you don't
Been
have
on a losing team.
Yeah.
It's cold outside.
And it's Cleveland.
It's cold outside.
It's 72 degrees inside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Outside.
It's 72 degrees every Sunday.
Yeah.
And he won't have to deal with the Ravens.
Sounds great. Listen, it sounds great.
And you don't have to pay him right now. He's still got 2 more years under his contract. Mm-hmm. He's got 2025, which is this upcoming year. His cap hit's going to be $20 million. 2026, his cap hit will be $21 million. Mm-hmm. And then you can get out. Or you can re-sign. At that point, he's 32. I'll give up 2 years of first-round picks to get 2 years of this guy.
And you don't have to deal with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, or the Steelers.
Right.
Maybe that's why.
Again, why would he come down here and play harder than he played in Cleveland? Why would he come down here and not make more money, not understand he's getting an extension, and not play for a championship-type franchise?
They won 3 games.
None of those things are happening here for the next 2 years when he's under contract.
We're bad.
None of it. Not one thing.
We're not.
Michael Penix is not this kind of hero going to take you to the postseason
wait a minute. I don't
and
like
go
this
win games, dude.
Based
this is not
on
the
what
case.
we've seen, Michael Penix looks like he is going to be fine and not part of the problem. We don't need to anoint him like we did Captain Kirk Cousins. Mm-hmm. We'll wait and see.
But Kirk Cousins is Myles Garrett with an Achilles.
Well, we're bad. We're not Browns bad. Browns won 3 games. So if you want to make the argument, it doesn't matter if you win 3 or you win 7 and miss the playoffs.
58% completion percentage.
We're not the same as the Cleveland Browns. Our division is not the same as the Cleveland Browns. And what we would have if we had Myles Garrett would be better than what the Cleveland Browns have to deal with a 2-time, maybe a 3-time MVP in Lamar Jackson and a guy that's been to the Super Bowl with Joe Burrow in their division. 404-231-1680. Mo, you'll be up first. Thank you for joining us here in the locker room. How you doing? Thank you for joining us here on The Fan.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, fellas. But we got to try to do whatever we can to improve that defense and get Myles Garrett. That's the best you can do to improve that defense this year coming up. I don't know what we have to give up, anything but the varsity and Magic City. Other than that, we need to try to get it.
Thanks for the call, Bo.
Like, I'll throw in a 50-piece lemon pepper.
Isn't this what you want your GM to do, be in conversations to acquire the best talent available and not worry about what the picks are in 2028?
My thing is, and I'll lean on Finn's side on this, it's pie in the sky. The Falcons don't make moves like this. Myles Garrett, if he really puts his foot down, can probably tell the Browns, no, I don't want to go here. I'm going to make life difficult. I won't report, whatever it may be. I don't think he's that kind of player. He doesn't strike me as that. But the Falcons aren't doing this. One, you've lost too many damn draft choices for other stupid things. Gave up a third-rounder for Matthew Judon that didn't work out. We all applauded it when they did it. You lose a fifth-rounder because you're tampering for somebody. You've constantly traded up in the draft instead of trading back and acquire picks. This is where, had you moved back one pick and still took Michael Penix, you would have looked smart because you'd had an extra pick to potentially trade. But I do want to dare to dream home team because I'm sick and tired of being out of the playoffs, and I think a guy like Myles Garrett gets you in the playoffs.
You have to make some kind of attempt because there are not many times that a guy like this is even available, and the fact that the Browns don't want to give him up, it puts them in a bad situation. They don't have all of the leverage. When a guy says, I want out, you can't ask for a king's ransom unless you want to start dealing with holdouts, bad press, finding your superstar player, getting to the season, and you're paying him and finding him, and he's not there. You don't want that as a coach or a team.
Do you want the odds on the next team for Myles Garrett?
Sure.
I'll just go down the list. You tell me when to stop.
All right.
Cowboys. That's
where he wants to go.
To the bottom.
Okay. He's from Texas, I believe. So
that's where he wants to go.
Interesting. Commanders.
Okay.
Chiefs. Mm-hmm. The Raiders.
That's stupid. He doesn't want to win, obviously.
Lose there, too.
This is not
or
his
the
choices.
Cowboys.
This is odds. betonline.com.
Okay.
49ers, Eagles, Bills, Packers. What are all those teams?
Playoff teams.
Lions. Mm-hmm. Playoff team?
Yep.
Patriots, Dolphins, Broncos, Chargers. Everybody with the Patriots pretty much a postseason.
Well, no, the Dolphins or the Patriots didn't make it.
Yeah. Well.
Where are the Falcons?
It's funny you asked.
You told me to stop, so I'll stop. Where are the Falcons?
They are third from last.
You're telling me there's a shot.
Well, they're saying they don't trust Terry.
Falcons, Giants, Panthers rounded off at the end. So it's a nice thought. He's a really good football player, but this is not happening. It's not happening here. It's not happening ever.
Did you think we were going to get Kirk Cousins last year?
Well, I mean, he was a...
You think it was a pie in the sky that we need, that we were going to make that kind of a deal to get that quarterback in here last year?
Yeah, we needed a quarterback. So, yeah, it made sense. What didn't make sense was...
How much we paid?
No, that was fine. Okay. I mean, that was...
That didn't make sense, but...
What didn't make sense?
How much him that much money?
What was it, $40 million a year?
4 for $180 is the total contract. Broke down to $100 million guaranteed. We bid against ourselves. Minnesota called our bluff.
Hey, so
180. What?
No, we didn't need to do that.
We didn't have to start there.
You know, maybe it's pie in the sky. Obviously, the guy wants to be a Cowboy. That's whatever site that was.
Why do you want to be a Cowboy?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Why would you want to be a Cowboy?
Those are just the odds. So
to go to a coach that nobody in the town wants.
Yeah, but he's got Micah Parsons on the other side. So now,
interesting.
Who might not be there very long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have some decisions to make there as well.
It's fun to talk about. It's not happening here. Use your draft picks wisely. Learn how to scout people.
Because we've done that
guys
so
with
well.
muscles. And hope for the best.
You have to wait on draft picks.
Crapshoot, dude.
You have to wait on draft picks. You don't have to wait on this guy. He'll be ready to go day one.
Mm-hmm.